to facilitate the consumer as per his like, as per his taste and preferences, we are going through consumer behavior. Based on a social environment or the surrounding environment, the people that they are going to make a purchase decision, that we call it as a social factors. So if he is not satisfied with the product, he won't influence other people, hence he is going to feel a negativity in other people's mind. What kind of a product that the consumer is going to purchase and how he is capable of paying the money to the purchase one particular product. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject Marketing Management, that is for second semester BBA students. Today we are going with Unit 3, Session 2. Okay, so the name of unit is Market Segmentation and Consumer Behavior. So as I said, in the previous session, we had learned about market segmentation. Here we are going with consumer behavior. That is part 2 of Unit 3, that is consumer behavior. So part 2, that is part B of Unit 3, that is consumer behavior. So here we are going with introduction to the consumer behavior, factors influencing consumer behavior, the buying decision process. It is very important, and in the exam point of view, they may ask this question for 10 marks. Market research process. So these are the topics that we need to cover in today's session. Moving forward, consumer behavior. So what exactly the consumer behavior is? So it is a perception of a consumer, it is an attitude of a consumer, it is a behavior of a consumer in the market environment. How he is going to respond to the market environment, how he is going to make a purchase decision, how he is going to purchase the product, what is his like, what is his dislike, what is his taste and preferences, what kind of the product he is going to afford, what kind of money. Okay, so whether he is a price sensitive customer, whether he is a loyal customer, whether he is a potential customer. Okay, so how he is going to consider the particular brand, what place does he give in his life for that particular brand, how he is going to prefer the brand. Okay, so this is a way how we need to learn about the consumer by studying the consumer behavior. Because what is the reason of studying the consumer behavior? Because the marketing is a customer centric approach. We are supposed to manufacture the product as per the demand, as per the trend, as per the like, as per the taste and preferences of our consumers. Okay, so to facilitate the consumer as per his like, as per his taste and preferences, we are going through consumer behavior. Because if we know about that consumer, we can facilitate him, we can satisfy him, his needs and desires. Okay, so this is a marketing strategy. By studying the consumer behavior, we are supposed to formulate a strategy and sell the product. Consumer behavior is a study of how individual customers. Okay, so it may be a individual customers, it may be a group of customers, it may be a organization. Okay, so each and every individual customer taste and preferences, it is going to differ. Okay, so in terms of selecting the product, in terms of affording the product, in terms of preferring the product, okay, it is entirely different from one person to another person. Okay, most of them they may like Micromax mobile, most of them they may like Apple iPhone, most of them they like Samsung mobile. It does not mean that all the people like mobile, they are going to like a single brand. Okay, so their taste and preferences is different as per their affordability, as per their likes and dislikes, as per their taste and preferences. Okay, so and group of customers means a group of people, they are going to buy a same kind of product. For example, okay, so North Indians, their dressing sense is completely different. South Indians dressing sense, food habit is completely different. Okay, means they are going to purchase the food as per their trend, their generation, their culture. We are going to purchase the food, we are going to prefer the food as per my culture, as per my tradition. Or organizations. Okay, so in an organization, okay, the need and want of a people is completely one and the same. Being a doctor, the requirement is different. Being an engineer, the requirement is different. Being a lecturer, the requirement is completely different. It also depends upon the organization that they are going to work. Okay, buy, use and dispose ideas, goods and services. Okay, so they are going to buy the product, use the product and dispose ideas to other people. For example, I'm going to purchase the product, use the product, Okay, I'm going to dispose the ideas with other people. If I have a good experience of using the product, I'm going to give a good word of mouth. If I have a bad experience, I'm going to give bad word of mouth to the general public regarding the goods and services to satisfy their needs. So we are going to facilitate two things, two kind of goods. One is a tangible good, another one is a intangible good. Tangible good means it is physical in nature, physically existence in nature, that we call it as a merchandise goods. Services, all the kinds of service based companies are the example for the services to satisfy their needs and wants. Okay, so the main goal of every organization is to satisfy their customer. Once the customer gets satisfied, they are going to become a loyal customer for the brand. It refers to the actions of a consumers in the marketplace. So it is a action of a consumers in a marketplace. So what happens? So how the consumers that they are going to react for the particular situation, particular product. Okay, so what kind of the product that they are going to purchase, what kind of the product that they are going to neglect. Okay, and underlying motives for those actions. Okay, so they are going to underline the motives for their actions. Means, for example, there is a need in a market. We are supposed to recognize the need and facilitate, fulfill the need of the customer and satisfy the customer, so they can become a loyal customer for our brand. Factors influencing consumer behavior. Okay, there are various factors which is influenced the consumer behavior. Okay, so consumer behavior get influenced by various factors. Okay, so one is psychological factors. It is a main factor which is going to play a vital role when it comes in terms of consumer behavior. On what basis they are going to make a purchase decision? Okay, so psychological factors means their belief, their trust, their perception, their assumption towards that particular product. Okay, say for example, I want to purchase Apple iPhone. So what is my perception towards that particular product? What is my assumption towards my that particular product? So at what intention that I'm going to purchase that product? What is my perception towards that particular product? That we call it as a psychological factors. It is the internal factors which is going to happen inside the mind of people, that we call it as a psychological factors. Social factors, so based on a social environment or the surrounding environment, the people that they are going to make a purchase decision, that we call it as a social factors. So as I said, so as per their culture that they are going to make a purchase decision, we call it as a social factors. Means, by looking at a surrounding environment, we are going to purchase a product. By looking at a society, we are going to purchase a product, that we call it as a social factors. Okay, means, for example, my friends, my family members, my neighbors, if they are going to use one particular brand of product, even I want to use a same kind of product, because they are going to give a good review regarding that particular product and there is a positive word of mouth, and hence I am going to use the same kind of the product. Okay, so that we call it as a social factors. The members of the society or the groups in the society are influencing me to purchase that particular product, adopt that particular product. Cultural factors. So as I gave you the example, so these cultural factors are also the factors which is going to influence the people to make a purchase decision. We are going to purchase the product as per our culture. Okay, so as I gave you the example of a food habit. Okay, so North Indian food habit is completely different. South Indian food habit is completely different. Okay, so based on their culture, they keep purchasing a product. Personal factors. Okay, so personal factors means it varies from one person to another person, one generation to another generation, one trend to another trend. Means a person may purchase one particular product as per his like or dislike. Okay, means according to me, Apple iPhone is best affordable phone, but according to somebody else, Samsung is a best affordable mobile. According to some other person, so Micromax is an affordable mobile. So based on their belief that they are going to make a purchase decision, and there are certain personal factors that we need to consider. Okay, so based on their lifestyle, okay, so based on their purchasing power, based on their ability, okay, based on their belief that they are going to make a purchase decision, that we call it as a personal factors. Economic factors. Okay, so based on their purchasing power parity, the people that they are going to purchase the product. Okay, it is also a factors which is going to influence the people to make a purchase decision. For example, if I am capable of purchasing 20,000 mobile, okay, so I am going with brand A. So if I have an expensive budget, okay, so I can go with brand B. So if I want a good quality of mobile durability, okay, with a good warranty, so I can go with brand C of mobile. Okay, so it varies from one brand to another brand. There are certain mobile which is available very cheaper in nature. Okay, so we can afford the mobile very easily, and also it is durable also. Okay, so economic factors means it is a purchasing power parity of the individual customers. Technological factors. So these technological factors keep updating from time to time, trend to trend, and generation to generation. And most of the old people, they won't prefer Android mobile. Okay, most of the youths, they won't prefer the keypad mobile. Okay, so based on the trend, based on the generation, it keep updating. Buying decision process. So this buying decision process is a very important question in the exam point of view. They may ask this question for 10 marks. Okay, so it is very important and very easy to understand. Okay, so when it comes in terms of buying decision making process, okay, so here if I want a particular product, okay, I want to purchase the product. Okay, so once if I get to know that it is a need for me, I won't go directly to the shop and purchase that product. There is a procedure which I am going with. Okay, so this is the actual procedure which all the customers that they are going to purchase the product. Problem recognition. The first stage is problem recognition. This problem recognition is also known as need recognition. Okay, so what happens? Nobody is going to purchase a product until and unless that product is need to them. Okay, for example, so I have to travel for 5 kilometers to my college. Okay, so I want to travel 5 kilometers to my college. Okay, so here there is a need of bike. If I have a bike, I can travel easily from college to home, home to college. Okay, so here I had recognized the problem, that is need. Okay, so that is bike. Bike is a problem. If I have a bike, so I can easily travel from college to home, home to college. Okay, information search. Okay, so when it comes in terms of a information search, as soon as I get to know that there is a problem, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for the information. What is my budget and which are all the bike variants which is available as per my budget. For example, there are a number of companies that is available in the market to purchase. Okay, let me consider 1,50,000 is my budget. Okay, so there are 3 brand of bike that is available in the market. Okay, which I need to purchase. Here, why information search is important is, here I am going with 2 ways. I am going to visit the showroom of a bike. I am going with the prices of the bike, with its features, its durability, warranty, guarantee, and whatever it is. Okay, so and also I am going to visit online website. Okay, so which one is better? Can I purchase through online? Can I book through online? Or can I go through offline? Okay, so information search over, I get to know. So there are 3 brand of bike that is available. Okay, as per my budget. There may be 10 to 15 brands of bike that is available in the market, but as per my budget, there are 3 brands of bike that I had shortlisted. Information search. Evaluation of alternatives. So this is a very important point that we need to consider. Okay, so I cannot purchase all the 3 brands of bike. If I want to purchase 3 brands of bike, so it will be 4,50,000. My budget is 1,50,000. I'm supposed to purchase only one among 3 brands of bike. So totally I am going to compare with each other, brand A with brand B, brand B with brand C. Totally I come to the conclusion saying that I'm going to purchase brand B of bike finally. Okay, so here the thing what happens is, if I compare brand A bike with brand B bike, okay, in terms of durability, in terms of mileage, in terms of efficiency, in terms of economy, in terms of offers and discounts, okay, so I'm going to go with meticulous calculation and logical thinking, and finally I'm going with brand B of bike to be purchased after evaluation of alternatives. So after evaluation of alternatives, finally I'm going to decide the purchase decision. Which brand of bike I'm supposed to purchase? Brand B of bike that I'm supposed to purchase. Okay, so after purchasing the bike, okay, so I going to ride the bike for a longer period of time. Okay, I'm going to use the bike, and this is the last point that we must consider: post-purchase behavior. We call it as a post-purchase evaluation. Okay, so what happens after purchasing brand B of bike? So after having a good experience, I'm going to use the bike. Okay, if I have a good experience, I'm going to influence other people by positive word of mouth. So what happens? I'm not satisfied with that particular bike. Okay, so there will be a negative word of mouth that is being spreaded of that particular brand. Okay, so here at the end of the day, the satisfaction of the customer or dissatisfaction of the customer, it is going to make a sound in a market. If a customer gets satisfied with that particular product, okay, if a customer is happy, okay, so he is going to influence other people to purchase the product. Okay, so if he is not satisfied with the product, he won't influence other people, hence he is going to fill a negativity in other people's mind. So this is the only thing that the entrepreneurs that they are going to consider of their product. Okay, once the customer gets satisfied with the product, so if we satisfy one customer, this one customer, he is going to bring 10 number of customers. If one number of customer is dissatisfied with our product, so indirectly we are going to lose 10 number of customers. So only the thing is, we are supposed to facilitate a good product with affordable price, and in the same way we are supposed to satisfy the customer as per the trend, as per the generation, as per their trade, and as per their taste and preferences. Hence we are supposed to customize the product as per their convenience. The various stages or steps in marketing research process. So here, this marketing research process is a wider process. Okay, so it is a wider in nature. So how exactly the marketing research it is going to happen? So there are various steps in the market research process. The first thing is identification and defining problem. Once if we identify the problem, we can set the goal for which we are supposed to reach. Okay, so the goal can be decided by identifying the problem. Step number 2, statement of research objectives. It is nothing but research objective is nothing but, so what is the main goal? What is the main objective of this research? I am going to conduct a research. What is my goal? Based on the problem, I am going to set the goal. Planning the research design and designing the research study. Okay, so after setting the goal, after setting the objectives, so I am supposed to go with a research design. What kind of the research design that I have to go, and designing the research study. So we are supposed to design what? The research study. Planning the sample. All of a sudden, we cannot go with major things. We are supposed to go with something called sample survey. Based on that sample survey, we are supposed to consider the data, and we can go with the accurate information that can be collected. But most of the surveys, this sample survey is not applicable. Means this sample survey cannot give 100% of result. Data collection. So based on the sample survey methodology, so we are supposed to collect the relevant data that is relevant to our business. Data process and analysis. So data process and analysis, so earlier days it was done by the expertised people, but today regarding the data collection, data analysis and data interpretation and processing the data is be done by the CRM software. There are number of replacement systems, there are number of CRM software which is being contributed by artificial intelligence, machine learning and cloud computing. Okay, so it is going to make the work very easier to the current generation. And after recognition of these all things, processing the problem, formulating conclusion, after making the decision, preparing and presenting the report. So this is a way how we are going to make a plan. Means it is like a framework for the plan which is to be executed. It is a strategic methodology that how we are going to formulate a plan for the future execution. The next session we are going with unit 4, that is product and pricing. So here in the session 1 that I had said, okay, so we are going to study 4 pieces of marketing mix, okay, in unit 4 and unit 5. Okay, so here in unit 4 that we are going through product and pricing. In unit 5, we are going through place and promotion. These are the 4 P's that we need to consider of the marketing mix, which is very important topic for today, for tomorrow, and for every day. Thank you.